Welcome to our Thrive Through Growth podcast.
Where two coaches and friends come together to help women in business make the mindset shifts and take consistent strategic action in and out of their businesses so they can thrive through the seasons of growth instead of feeling like they're just surviving.
So join us at our virtual table every Monday for casual conversations where we'll help you bridge the gap between mindset, business, life, motherhood, and relationships.
So welcome back to another episode. We are really excited to be here with you today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on podcast somewhere. We're excited that you are listening and tuning in. Today is going to be covering a topic that I think both of us probably feel pretty passionate about. I know I really do because there's been some pros and some cons of different things that have gone on. And so today we're going to be talking about how do you find the right coach, the right client, the right people to work with, the right person to hire on your team, things like that. How do you find those right people? I'm actually, well, I'll share a personal experience that I have of mine. But first off, Hannah, do you have any recommendations on what to look for, how to find those people that align with your vision and what you're actually trying to accomplish, whether that's in a coach, whether that's a client to work with, or whether that's someone to bring on for your team?
Yeah. So, man, so many things. But I think like the first or the number one thing that if I'm looking to invest in a coach or I'm looking to like if I were to be looking for someone to bring onto my team, like just, finding my people, the first thing that I would look at is I want like our lifestyles to match. And what I mean by that is like I'm a mom, my 3-year-old's with me all the time. So like they have to be okay with that, right? And
Right.
I'm okay with other people having their 3-year-olds popping their head in on calls or recordings because
Yeah.
that's just how I live my life. And if someone like, yes, I have a dedicated office space, but like if someone expects for my kid to never be in here, then that may not be a good fit for me. So, and it's probably not a good fit for them either because they're going to be distracted. Um, and yeah, so I think if you can compare lifestyles, even like, because when you hire specifically talking about a coach, like when you hire a coach, you're looking up to them and they're like showcasing the kind of life that you want to live most of the time. So you want to choose someone that like it lives a lifestyle that you agree with and it's something that can inspire you and something that you can learn how to do. So yeah, I think for me lifestyle is one of the biggest things, as well as just overall knowledge and them having walked the path that
Mhm.
you want to walk. And that's why lifestyle is important for me, because like I need to hire someone who knows what it's like to grow a business with a toddler or with a
Yeah.
baby, you know what I mean? So yeah, those are
Yeah. I think
two.
that's probably one of the, especially when looking for clients, I feel like this is a big deal looking for clients, making sure that they know, again, it's kind of like those expectations that we've talked about in previous episodes of
Mhm.
make sure you are communicating those expectations of, hey, if we have a team call every Monday, cool. My 3-year-old might be joining me. Is that cool? And making sure that those things align to find those right clients that have that same lifestyle or have been in that same, like, that don't care and they welcome it. And that is part of why they built their business as well.
Mhm.
If you are not one who wants, like, if you are hiring someone to work on your team and you are very much of a no distractions during our team meetings, make sure you are communicating that to those people who might have small children at home of, hey, during this 1 hour, are you available to have no distractions during that team call every week? Just different expectations and making sure that those are communicated with whatever aligns with the lifestyle like you were talking about. Just making sure that those align and are communicated with everyone.
Oh yeah.
um which, so that also kind of goes to a point I wanted to make of lifestyles aligning, which
Mhm.
kind of goes to your values aligning. I would highly recommend, especially, well, really this goes, I think, for a coach, a client, or a team member, making
Yeah.
sure your like foundational values align for the most part. I am very much a an encourager of having different personalities and different ways of thinking, things like that. But if the foundational values aren't aligning, and I say this from experience, one of the very first clients that I worked with, my personal values did not align, but I was like, oh, first client, yes, cool, I'll make it work because I can keep personal separate from business, of course. No, it did not feel good, and it quickly was like had to be communicated of like, hey, what I'm helping you promote here is not necessarily in alignment with what I'm comfortable with. And that was okay. You've just got to make sure that you're not saying yes to all of those people in the client aspect of just saying yes to get a client.
Yeah.
I also would say when hiring a coach, making sure that your values and again, lifestyle, like you mentioned, align with like, what do they believe? What are they doing on a day-to-day basis? How are they living their life? How are they portraying themselves, not necessarily just on camera or, like quote on camera, like in front of the highlight reel? Like, have you been around long enough to see a little bit behind the scenes? Which is another big point that I want to make, which I will tie into my personal experience here. So hiring a coach of make sure that you do your research. Don't jump the gun. Again, this is my advice. If you have done that and it's going well for you, power to you. I would say the likelihood of that generally happening is it's just not likely. I think there was one statistic a while back we saw there was like 1 in 10 coaches are actually going to be like your helpful, like what they sell you on is actually what you get. And this is so an experience that I had a little over a year ago was I just got into I say this, I had seen a couple ads from this coach, I don't know, over a couple months, and I was like, okay, I'm intrigued on a free workshop, got signed up. I actually won a gift like during the live workshop, and I was like, cool, like all this. And I'm very much a planner. So I feel like during the time, I felt like I was doing so much research. And then in hindsight, I mean, I signed on to work with this coach after knowing them, which I really knew the coach. I only talked to the coach, didn't ever even talk to her. I just saw her in the workshop. I was talking to team members and they were great. The person that I was talking to was very friendly. And then once I signed up, it was like I was being like tossed around between a lot of different team members and all this stuff. And it was not necessarily what I expected, nor did I. Now, both of us, I will say positively, and I'll say Lauren Golden's name has been a fantastic coach. I did a lot of research on her, a lot of the, lifestyle values and everything aligned. And I remember hearing her and so many other people in the virtual space say like, I have been wronged by so many coaches. And I was like, I'm lucky. Like, no, like I found the greatest coach. And then I was like, I was just expecting all coaches to be that great. And I think that's where I was a little bit naive in. Lauren was a 1 in 10, I think. And I had to find that out the hard way. And I also though want to, so I'll reiterate, do your research, make sure that it's not just a quick decision that you're making based on a quick timeline, or you've got to get in it now, or it'll never happen. Now I am very much if you are putting things off for excuses of reasonings, then we need to work through that. But if you are just now getting into someone's world, hang out a little bit maybe before diving full in. Or if you're ready to dive full in, maybe find someone that you do know really well who maybe has been in their community a while already, that you would trust on their word of how that coach is.
And I think based off of your experience with like not getting a chance to talk to the actual coach, like if that's something that's really important to you, like being able to talk one-on-one with the person who instead of their team, like if that's something that's important to you and you see it come up, and like listen to what your gut says. And I mean, your gut at the time might have been like, oh, it's okay, it's gonna work out. But now you have that learning experience, right? And maybe we can help others learn from the experience.
And that's where it's like, they're as frustrated as I can get with mistakes, especially ones that include money. And believe me, I can be really frustrated. I can also look back and see that there were positives that came from it. There were things that I did learn throughout that few months, and I was like, well, I paid for this, so I'm doing this. There did come a time where, different weekly calls and everything that were offered, I was not getting anything out of them, but I was like, I'm paying for this, I'm showing up. I finally had, and I remember talking to my husband about this, I finally had to come to a point of, okay, like this is the money that we've invested in this, and yet I'm still investing my time in this, but I'm not getting anything in return. I've got to stop investing my time with no return on it. And that was kind of a hard pill for me to swallow, but at the same time, it freed up my time. And it also allowed me to kind of release that unfortunate circumstance rather than continuing to show up and be like, I've got to stay in this, I've got to stay in this, all this to make it worth my money. Where it actually like freed me up to release that unfortunate event and move on. And work with, which I was still working with Lauren throughout all of this. And I wanted to sound like I left her completely or anything. I was getting into new communities, things like that. And it was, almost like culture shock, I think, of I just expected everyone to be as great. And then they're not.
I mean,
So
I cannot, that statistics 1 in 10, I cannot even fathom that, because like me and you are both coaches, right? We both
right.
have a bunch of people. Like I help people grow their business to 6 figures while creating more time freedom. And like I cannot imagine someone like giving me their trust and not following through. Like it just doesn't,
Right.
it
Right.
doesn't, yeah, it doesn't compute in my brain.
No, and that's where again it kind of goes to people's like gut heart reactions of
Yeah.
judge the character of the person that you're looking to hire, coach, client, or team member. And if you feel good about it,
Yeah.
you've got to trust your instinct at some point. Or if you feel bad about it, like, okay, maybe not right now or not ever, or, this person I connect with more and I feel that they are genuine and actually will deliver on what they're telling me they are going to deliver for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that, and make sure going in, the expectation that you want. Like, so when hiring a coach, what transformation are you looking for? Is it the financial freedom that Hanah can bring you of working with you to grow your business to 6 figures? Is it mindset shifts, setting that foundation? Working with me might be your next best answer. Or someone else, like if you've got someone in your mind that maybe you have been following for a while, it's like, okay, like all of this, it seems to align and this offer is up and like you can know, but you are going to be the only one that will know that gut heart reaction that you're feeling of is this good for me, is this not this person. But again, even if you feel like that in the moment, like I did, and I mean it was a good, I would say, month-long process, even bringing my husband in, making sure it was a good decision, and I truly felt like it was a good decision. But again, in hindsight, I can see the red flags. I think I was just a little bit blinded by the flashy promises. And yeah, so make sure that it's realistic as well. A lot of people say, like, write a year's worth of content in 30 seconds. I'm like, that to me is not realistic for me. Now, if it is for you, holy smokes, power to you. Like, let me know, come write my copy.
More like, more like
No,
10 hours.
like, yeah. So make sure that whatever the transformation you're wanting is attainable with that coach of, are you in a place where they're, a couple steps ahead of you to be able to help you get there, to get that transformation that you're seeking? And like me, and I believe you too, Hanah, of if we have a call with someone and they are not a good fit for us at the right time, we will tell you that. I don't work with everyone that comes knocking on my door. Because I want to make sure that we align with each other on, not just our foundational values, but also where we're at and what they're trying to succeed by working with me. And if I feel confident in helping them get that transformation, then we'll talk more details of investment and what they get working with me, and like how many calls and what all of those details. But if I don't feel like we're a good fit, I will let them know. And then I will also do my best to find a good connection for them of, hey, I might not be the right fit, but Hanah might be, or someone else might be better than me. So again, maybe kind of judge that too, of if they are so just like me is the only option. To me, I can now see that would be a red flag.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my goodness. You said flashy promises, and that's something that I was thinking about, that because I've bought, I don't know, I spent like, I don't know, too much money, $20,000 on coaching over the last 4 years or whatever, or 5 years
Yeah.
almost. And, or not too much, obviously, because I have received back from it tenfold. But some of the investments that I've made, like, didn't um hold up to what they were promising, like they
Yeah.
overpromised, under delivered kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if it sounds too good to be true, it just
Mhm.
might be. Like, one of
Yep.
the courses that I bought before, as I was niching into copywriting, like right during that season, I bought a course. It was like, create passive income with a course, but they don't tell you until you're inside the program, and you have to invest all this money in ads, and this may not
Yep.
work. There's just like,
Yeah.
if it sounds
Make
too
sure.
good to be true, it
Yeah.
just could be. Like, passive income
Yeah.
doesn't exist without a lot of upfront effort that might
Yeah.
take months before it like starts happening. So
Make
um
sure there's transparency. And if you feel like a question is not being answered or it's being danced around, either do your best to explain it in a different way. Maybe they're just not understanding your question. But if they keep dodging the answer and coming back to the sale, things like that, might be a red flag.
yeah.
So
It's really important that you feel heard, you feel seen, you feel supported, like, especially like, before they take your money, like, all those things need to happen. And like, if you're like, I think I can speak for Kendra, or I know I can speak for Kendra in this part, but like, if you're wanting to work with a coach and it's really important for you to like talk to their face
mhm.
before like joining their thing, ask to schedule a quick call with them, like, even if
Yeah.
it's 15 minutes, like, and of course this depends on like what level the coach is in, or what level the freelancer is in, if you're hiring someone for your team. But if you
Yeah.
feel that it's imperative that you like look them in the eyeballs when you ask them a question through the
Yeah.
computer screen, then do it. There's a lot of coaches who
Yep.
would be, and freelancers who are willing to make that commitment before like working with you. And I know it's
Yep.
something that I really like doing with like the people who come to work with me one-on-one. Like, I need to know that they're committed. I need to know
Yeah.
like what their goals are, what their dreams are, and I need to know that they're going to be willing to follow through with everything that we have laid out.
Yep. Absolutely. And if you have more questions, or if it's a large investment or something that you're needing more time on, it's okay to take time. There are times to go ahead and say yes and figure out the rest. And there are times to take a step back and make sure that it's the right fit for you. Again, you're the ultimate deciding factor of that
Yeah.
gut heart reaction of what that looks like for you. Um,
Yeah.
Speaking of the right coaches to find, we do truly hope that we are some genuine, heartfelt people that you see that in us. If you are wanting to work with either one of us, excuse me. So I am a mindset and accountability coach. I've got a couple different avenues to work with me. I work one-on-one accountability only on a month-to-month basis with some clients that have gotten great transformations just from that accountability coaching. And I also have a larger 8-week program, Unlock Your Full Potential, that will be coming up again soon into the new year. If you're interested in that full 8-week program to transform, set that foundation for you and grow in personal development and business development as well. So yeah, and if you have questions for us, whether you're wanting to work with us or not, if you're wanting to, like test our transparency or our genuineness, I'm here for that. And
Yeah.
I don't feel like, like your kind of sleazy coaches probably would not say that of like, hey, ask me anything and I'll answer it and be honest with you. Whereas I believe Hanah and I will be that for you, whether that is just through this podcast or if you're wanting to work with us closer on a one-on-one or group space. That's what we're here for. We are here to be that 1 in 10 that is genuinely here for you.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. And I think I said earlier, I'm a business coach and I'm a strategist. So I help specifically business owning moms grow their business to 6 figures while creating more time freedom and more white space in their life so that they can like stop sacrificing everything, stop sacrificing their family, and they can start to actually enjoy things. So I have a few different options to work with me, and we can put our I'll put my email address down in the description if you guys want to send me a message, and we can have Kendra will include her link too.
Good.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing, I'm putting it like quote, seeing you guys again from you one way or another.
If
So
you're on
please talk
YouTube, you
about
can see us.
yes, but we can't see you. So please let us
Right.
know you're here. And if you have any questions or anything like that that you would like us to cover, by all means, we are here for it. And yes, we will put our email addresses in there if you want to reach out to us that way one-on-one as well. So next week we have really exciting, one of my favorite things that Hanah has helped implement in my life is the dream schedule that she will go more into detail with on that. I'm really excited for that because, well, we can get into that next week. I just love it so much. So stay tuned for that next week. You'll get that. We will talk to you all soon.
Bye, guys.